Alright, welcome back to the channel. I want to start off by thanking everybody for helping us out here and supporting us here at the channel, as well as our Facebook group page, Motive Nation. Got a lot of good things going on there right now. We went ahead and just launched our merch store, so if you want any of the Motive Nation logo on any clothes or shirts or sweatshirts, go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and buy you some merch. But I do want to thank everybody for the support. Without you all, we can't do these videos, giveaways. So thank you again for all the support. So I want to kick off. I've had some comments about talking about USBC Open Championship. Obviously, everybody's starting to think about that right now. It's coming up here in a few months. A lot of people have questions. So I'm going to kick it off with starting off with first timers, for those people going out there for the first time. If this is your first time, I do suggest getting out there a day or two early. This will give you time for, recovering from jet lag. Most of us are going to be flying out there, but also just to take it all in. It is such a huge event and so much fun. There's so much going on. You're going to love it out there. Go to the stadium, take it all in, go to the shops. Excuse me. There's plenty of pros usually running around. You can talk to, get your pictures taken, just to take in everything. It is such a great place. It's so much fun. But also go out there and watch other people bowl. There'll be people bowling there the day you get there. So go out there and go to a team event if you're bowling a team event and see how they're playing the lanes, and just watch the ball motion. See what kind of balls they're throwing. Talk to people. It's a lot of fun. I do suggest, like I said, getting out there a day or two early just to, take in the environment and just to get your mind right for, what you're going to do out there. Let the physical part just take over, but just get your mind right. You won't be so much in awe when you go in there for your event. Also, for first timers, if you go out there a day or two, you can go ahead and take advantage of some of the events that they have going on days prior. They do have, I don't know if they're doing, I haven't looked to see if they're doing the Bowler's Journal this year, but if they do, that's a great thing to go and bowl just to get your feet wet. They also do have team practice sessions, so you can sign up for one of them. I believe on bowl.com, I think you can reserve your spot, but you get your team out there and you can actually bowl on the patterns kind of similar to what you'll be seeing. So this way you could go ahead and get ready, for the time that you have to bowl. But we're going to go ahead and just talk real quick here about the team event first. So I'll do a couple of these videos, but the team event is the patterns. The USBC does not disclose the patterns ahead of time, but if you look historically, they're generally pretty similar, can get you in the ballpark. So for instance, in 2022 it was 42 feet, 27 total volume, and 2.63 to 1, so very flat. 2022 it was only a foot shorter at 41, a little less volume at 25.75, and 2.64 to 1. So, and then in 2019 it was a little different, 38 feet, 27.5 and 1.98 to 1. So obviously a sports shot, so much flatter. The key thing about the team pattern is there is a ton of hook. You have to control the back end on the team pattern. Those balls that you throw in your league that get you to shoot 700, 800, the whippy, snappy things on the back end, you'll shoot 400 at USBC Nationals on the team pattern with that type of motion. You have to control the back end. Very controllable pieces. So when you get there, if you do have, say, your team, or you happen to have 10 people that you're there with and you're all bowling on the same line, I suggest breaking down the pattern. And what I mean by this is taking a big, solid ASIM with you. Everybody for the first, few shots going down on the practice session, throw it outside on about the 5 board. This will help you burn it up and break down the pattern correctly, because on the team pattern you are going to move left quickly and you're going to have to get into cleaner covers and weaker covers. So break down that outside. This will give you that little hook spot, so as you move in, if you do miss right, you'll have that free hook out there. On the team pattern, urethane is definitely in play. If you're someone that can throw urethane, a purple, a blue, or the carbide will need probably the surface taken up a little bit, maybe around 3,000-4,000, because it does have a little bit of that back end. But in practice, go ahead and use that urethane and go ahead and throw it. But I do suggest using a big solid ASIM with like 500 on it to burn up that outside. And grab a few spare balls, throw them down the middle. This will help you create some hold down lane in the middle part of the lane as you progress. The key in the first game is to control the pocket and basically survive. So as long as you break the pattern down correctly, you will see your scores go up as you move in and you get that little friction to the right. If you do not break down the pattern correctly, your team is going to struggle. You're going to struggle all 3 games. You have to get that lane broke down correctly, so as you move left, you have that free friction to the right and maybe some hold to the left. Now if you have, say, people on your team are pumping it up the 5 board and you're breaking it down, but you got those 2-handers, with those clean balls just ripping the cover off the ball through the middle, you're going to struggle. As you all move left, you're going to run right into his the friction that he's created to the left, so you're going to have friction right and friction left. So try to break the patterns down correctly, but play to your strengths. If you are a up and in bowler, build your arsenal so that you can stay in a ball longer and stay up and in. A lot of people that bowl up and in struggle as they move left, and their accuracy is going to go down. So try to build an arsenal that keeps you up and in longer. It's a little harder on the team pattern. On doubles and singles, you can stay in those bigger ASIMs a lot longer because it's a lot tighter down lane, and usually the volume's a little bit higher, so you can go ahead and stay in that ASIM a little longer. On the team event, you're going to be moving frame 6 of game 1. Maybe you might get away by the end of the first game, but you will be moving left and trying to get to those weaker balls. So say you start off with, if you're an up and in bowler, and the same thing is with people that like to swing the ball. Just build the arsenal for your strengths. If you're like to hook the lane, build your arsenal to hook the lane. But let's say you start off with when I talk about the big solid ASIMs, Jackal Ambush, Odyssey, Ghost, Legacy, balls like this, put a 500 on it, 1,000, burn up that outside. Now, on your last few shots of practice, go ahead and try to get lined up. Last 2 or 3 shots, try to get lined up into the pocket, and see how long you can stay there. You may be able to stay there for a while. Like I said, also, urethane at that point is in play. You'll be able to control the back end a lot more with urethane if you can throw urethane consistent. And then as the pattern breaks down, you're going to have to move left. You're going to have to get into some cleaner balls. For me, I prefer more symmetrical balls when I go to nationals. That big solid ASIM, I'll take 1 to burn up the pattern, which I probably be able to use 1 or 2 games on doubles and singles, because doubles and singles you have 6 games, so you're going to be moving left. So if you start off with those bigger balls and you like the line into the pocket, you're an up and in bowler, stay with it as long as you can. Now as you move left, obviously that ball's going to start reading, it's going to start dying, and you're creating more angle, so it's not going to have as much pop as it goes into the pocket to get through the pins, and you'll start leaving those 10 pins. It's when you need to get into the cleaner balls. Obviously with symmetrics, we're talking about the Ghost. For me, I'll probably take 2 or 3 Ghosts out of my 6-ball arsenal, all with different layouts and all with different surfaces. You know, you mess with surface to create those gaps, make them even wider. If you have a asymmetric ball here, but your next ball down is very close, if you mess with the surface, you can widen those gaps and make them that much more different and give you more options. So I'll take, 3 Ghosts with me, because these will be my transition balls. You can go ahead and throw pearl balls, but obviously pearl balls are not meant to control the back end. You might be able to mess with surface. You can take a Raptor or a Launch or a Coral. For me, if I took any of the pearls for how I bowl, it would be an Empire, because it's a little rounder and smoother, and hit it with 2,000-3,000, and probably a Coral. The Launches and the Raptors and the Mythics, the Mythic needs friction for me to move, and there's a lot of friction on the team pattern. I'm not sure how good that would look unless you hit it with surface to get it to slow down. You hit balls with surface to get them to slow down so they're not so responsive on the back end. So let's see. So you go to the shock. I don't foresee on the team event needing to go to anything weaker than the shock. So a thrill, balls like that. Now, if you're slower speed, a thrill might be an option. For me, last year, I started off with the Coral, surprisingly, with surface. It looked really good, but I was kind of left of where everyone else was starting. And then I transitioned to the shock on the team pattern, and that's all I threw were those 2 balls. So, like I said, it's going to be different on how you bowl, how you like to bowl, your speed, your revs, but build around your strengths, but don't expect those balls that you use in league to work at nationals, especially if they're whippy and snappy on the back end. A lot of people like to see that motion. That is not going to work at nationals. If you want to take those balls, by all means take those balls, but make sure you have access to somebody with some pads, Abralon pads, CTD, True Cut, anything, so that you can knock the shine off them. When you see that ball go down and it snaps 15 boards left, hit it with some surface to get it to slow down a little bit. So we will go ahead and talk next time a little more about the doubles and singles, and if I can remember anything that I missed on this one. If there was something that I did not mention, please put it down in the comments. Also, I will put the link to the merch store, and we'll put the link to the Facebook group. But please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you need me to comment on the next video. And just get ready for USBC Nationals. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. If you go out there and you don't shoot your best scores, just understand most of us don't. It's very difficult, but for you first timers, just enjoy the experience. It's an unbelievable thing. It's basically our national championship, for us weekend bowlers and all. So have fun, have a good time, but don't dread so much on your bowling scores if they're not what you think they should be. But I do believe you're going to surprise yourself if you just take a few of these tips, get ready, have your physical game ready. Oh, and another thing, make sure you make your spares. That is huge. Okay, so practice your spares for a month or 2 before you go. But anyway, we will catch you all next time. Thanks again for the support. Leave those comments, like, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video. Take care.